Hey guys, DESTHREADS Magic here, and oh my gosh, good news coming from the Magic world. I know, I thought that was impossible. They've been stuck on do something to make money in the short term that'll screw them over the long term, consequences catch up with them, do something dumber to make the numbers look good and exploit people even further, and then set it on repeat for like the last 5 years. But holy crap, they banned 7 cards from just Standard. Now, before I jump in, technically this isn't the biggest ban that I've seen recently or ever. I believe 58 was the biggest ban, effectively because they changed the legality rules. But other than that, this may be the biggest ban we've ever seen in Standard. I think the biggest one was like 4, maybe? I don't know. So like, this is wild. This is insane. You know what else is wild? 10% off already clearance items on Into the AM. They got some wild clothing, everything from like geeky stuff to like cool looking stuff to just everyday stuff. They got like athletic wear, beach wear. It's all reasonably priced and it all stands up, doesn't, fade, doesn't fall apart in the wash. And their prices are like Walmart level. Like, it is astonishing how low they can go and still make money. And you guys are helping out the channel with every purchase. So check them out. Let's jump into the video. They didn't touch Pioneer, Modern Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, or I guess Alchemy they technically did. And then Pioneer Best of One, they banned Tybalt's Trickery. Well, do I even need to say that? Just go watch my other one about why they banned it. Historic Counterspell is banned. The spell Counterspell. I think we'll circle back to that one. Otherwise, Timeless and Brawl, nothing. So, my gosh. So they moved this ban up a little bit because people were complaining that their circular logic, or whatever you call it, about like, well, we don't know what's going to happen after rotation, so we can't ban anything right when rotation happens. And then after rotation, the same crap is broken, and that, well, we can't do anything because we only do the ban list once a year. So in other words, they were never going to ban anything ever. Unless it was an emergency, and then they emergency banned something. Good system, much logic. Good job, Watsy. This article is brought to you by 5 different authors, because that's how many people they had to bring in on this, apparently. I can't pronounce any of their names, and I'm not sure that one of them isn't just the same person, but in a hat, because they have the same last name. But whoever wrote this intro probably should not have been included in the 5. They're kind of proof that that's a little too many. Howdy, gamers! Exclamation mark. Oh, how do you do, fellow kids? Okay, and then it says, my name is Carmen Clomperance. I didn't realize they actually literally owned up to that. That's hilarious. Please, for the love of God, somebody keep her away from anything customer facing, because howdy gamers, exclamation mark, maybe would have flown in like 1998 if you were wearing a Mountain Dew hat. Anyway, senior game designer on Magic's play design team. So wait, does that mean you're the one who did this in the first place? Because usually it's a combination of Mark and Aaron. But anyway, welcome to our mid-year banned and restricted announcement for 2025. No exclamation mark. Come on, at least get excited about that. Not, howdy gamers. The previous update to the banned and restricted list focused on changes to Modern Legacy with massive upheaval and Pauper. That is true. Go watch my video on it. But for this announcement, we're shining a spotlight on Standard, given the quantity of cards being added to the Standard ban list. I'll go ahead and roll out the red carpet for JD to talk about the details of what's changing and why! Exclamation mark. Calm down there, Elaine from Seinfeld. Okay, you're already overusing it. You put 2 of them in, that's about 3 too many. You're at about an 11. We need you down at like a 5. It's a Monday, for God's sake. The only time you should put an exclamation mark in this writing is, holy crap, Standard is messed up! Exclamation mark. See, that would be appropriate. Well, these borderline illiterate millennials that they keep hiring put together this beautiful list of banned cards. We've got Corey Stillcutter, banned. Instead of saying all of them, I think I'm just gonna break them down. Well, in fact, before they say anything, if you look at every single deck that made the top 8 at the last tournament, all of them were Red Rush garbage. So, there you go. They broke it badly with a couple particular mice in that stupid animal set, and then they just kept making it worse by upping the power level and then equipment, and now with Final Fantasy, it's just too much. Spoiler alert, they think they banned something from Mono Black discard attrition. They didn't. They didn't do shit. The correct answer was that stupid little bat, or the enchantment that pings you for 2. Either one would have been fine. Those were the actual problems, not Hopeless Nightmare. Spoiler. So that's what's really going on. That's the actual explanation. Now let's get into what they're saying. So they're shouting out, first and foremost, Is It Prowess, which is red-blue prowess. They think that's the problem when it's really Mouse Equipment, Ultra Blitz, and Goblin, and pretty much everything else in the color red, not this bullshit. And plus, the worst I've seen is actually either red, white, and blue or white, red mix. So, don't know what you're talking about there, but just I guess the word prowess is correct. And I have no problem beating that deck. I have big problems with the other ones. And there's a mono white deck that they didn't do a damn thing about that's faster than this. So they are really out of touch. I guess they're basing their conclusions on the results of the tournament. So I guess the pros are the ones who are out of touch. But yeah, there's some new decks out there like Dinosaur Blitz on turn 4 where they just cannot be stopped. It's like a gimmicky, stupid all-in modern deck and I just can't stand it. So... okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, giving all my final conclusions before I even tell you what was banned and why. So, they banned Corey Steel Cutter because it's a really obnoxious perpetual boost. It gives trample and haste. And then it also gives a white monk. I mean, do I need to explain it? It's too good for that deck, obviously. It's too good in general. And it counts as a non-creature spell. It auto-equips under some circumstances. It's just terrible. Next up, they banned Abuelo's Awakening, which, yeah, that makes sense. That's just free cast Omniscience. I'll just put it in the graveyard and bring it back shit. I don't know why they ever thought that was a good idea. They've been warned about it for, the last 15 years by the pros, and they did nothing about it in Modern other than make it worse with their little Modern additional sets. A lot of graveyard mechanics they're big fans of, somebody there, but that somebody should not work there, clearly. So, yeah, they're getting rid of that because Omniscience is bullshit. I haven't played against an Omniscience deck in a couple weeks, but the couple times that I did when it was popular, not loving it. Monstrous Rage is banned for obvious reasons. That was the star card in my Candy Cane deck, if you remember that, like 2 years ago. For 1 mana, that is way the hell too good. Way too good. Red is too annoying, too consistent, too high damage for too little mana. Shocker. And they haven't really fixed the 13 Mountain glitch. Or exploit. Not a glitch, it's an exploit. They did it on purpose. They just did it wrong. So instead of fix it and put a floor on the hand assistance, no. We're going to keep it in the game as far as I know, and just start banning cards and pretend like that's the problem. But this is the problem. Honestly, this card would be problematic if the people were running 21 Mountains. They didn't really have anything to say about it. They said it's been powering stuff ever since Wilds of Eldraine. It's annoying, it does combos, and we hate it. It overstates welcome. No, that's not what happened. You morons printed it even though you knew it was bad for Standard because you wanted to sell the set. We need shorter games so all the ADD 13-year-olds with no money can play Arena. That'll make us some money, guys. Make it shorter. Those kids have no attention span. Now, here's one I finally agree with. Now, this is insane. They got rid of Corey Steel. They got rid of Monstrous Rage. They also got rid of Heartfire Hero, which never should have cost 1 mana, let alone never shouldn't have existed. So, when he becomes the target of Dispeller ability, you control the first time each turn, put a 1/1 counter on him. So, permanent conditional single trigger prowess. Then when he dies, he deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. How the hell are you supposed to exile or pin this thing down when they go first? And they're going to kill you on turn 3 or 4? Like, what are you even supposed to do about this other than, oh, they boosted it, and then I take the damage. Cool. Oh, there's equipment on it. Great. So they didn't just stop short with Corey Steel Cutter, they actually got rid of the other problem as well. Then they banned Up the Beanstalk. Absolutely zero surprises here. It immediately replaces itself for 2 and then hits the gas pedal when you bring out stuff for 5 when you're ramping, stuff with treasures or like any kind of mana dorks or I've actually seen mana rocks. Discount cards, anything. You get to 5, all of a sudden you draw 2 to 1, and it's just utterly ridiculous. And then, of course, they didn't make it legendary. Idiots. Absolute careless morons. Never give green too much card draw. That is a golden rule that a toddler could have figured out, and they thought this was a good idea in the uncommon slot for 2 non-legendary. Really. I guarantee their thinking on this was, well, only about like 1 in 3 cards or less in your deck in an average deck would be creatures. So you're just getting like an extra card 1/3 of the time. And then they forgot how broken Standard was. Now you could just bring out like clones of stuff and duplicate stuff and all this other broken shit. And yeah, it's just an unbelievable mid-range ramp card, and it needs to go. I'm never going to read what they wrote. We all know what the problem was. Hopeless Nightmare is what they banned instead of the stupid shit bat, the discard bat, or the discard enchantment that pings you for 2. I just played against a 100% attrition deck where the entire rest of the deck was removal, 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 kill, 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 and then attrition discard shit. And that's it. I got beat single-handedly by that stupid enchantment and the black mage. Ping away on top of ping away, and all they had to do was keep casting kill spells, and then I get pinged away by the kill spell. Just idiotic. Absolute trash. What they needed to ban was the bat or that enchantment, though, because the Hopeless Nightmare doesn't do anything. It just says, okay, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life for 1. Okay, cool. Then when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2, pay 3, and sack it. Cool, don't care. The bat sits there and hits you in the air. That is a problem. Now they're like, oh, but the bat gives the card back. It doesn't matter. That's hand-picked. The other one is not hand-picked, but that ping away for 2 when you have to invest, 1 or 2 into it and then 1 to activate it? And then you start outdrawing them 2-1, and you think in a control deck that's not going to be a little bit of a problem? Oh my god, when you've already burned them down to less than 2 cards in hand, it's just... That enchantment or the bat needed to go, preferably both of them. I would have let them keep Hopeless Nightmare. There are so many cards similar to Hopeless Nightmare. Now, it is a discard, and the people lose 2 life for just 1 mana. That's a little much because they can just turn 1 it. Whereas, Duress, it's conditional. They don't lose life. There's no secondary abilities. There's no scry. There's no nothing. So I don't entirely disagree with this. It's just out of this and the other 2, they should have picked 2. They claim that the problem is a self-bounce deck, and they for all of these, they show a full deck list that nobody's ever run in all of the human history to bring up oh, this is what people are doing. No, not in Platinum on Arena they aren't. So yeah, they're saying, well, Hopeless Nightmare can be bounced, so that's a problem. It can be recurred from the graveyard. No, not letting me play my fucking deck that I just built is the problem, Watsy. Discard is the problem. If you mold a 6 or 5, you lose. The end, period, you lose. They will get rid of everything in your hand. If you start with 7 and you got exactly some nice synergy and combo, well, now you don't because they're probably going first. And, well, there goes your cards that you need. There goes part of the combo. There goes that. So, well, now you're starting with nothing. You're drawing dead. And they're all drawing you 2-1 because they gave black too much draw. They gave green too much draw. They gave everything too much draw. Then they banned This Town Ain't Big Enough, a spell that I have literally never seen somebody cast. As they put it, it has seen play in many different standard decks. It almost always sees play alongside Storm Chaser's Talent, a 2-piece package that has proven itself in a variety of shells. Most recently, this package played a role in the Is It Prowess deck, which they already took care of. But before that, it was a key player in versions of the Self-Bound Synergy deck, which they also took care of. I don't understand this one at all. When commonplace, this Town Ain't Big Enough makes the format less fun through its unique ability to interact with any permanent-based strategy. I love how that's the sentence they chose because that's so true, but it's understated. If your strategy relies on having permanence, any kind of permanence, then this wrecks your fun and wrecks your deck. That's where we're at, everybody. That's where we're at. And technically they're wrong because a lot of people still play 3-color ultra control board wipe, bounce and kill counterspell hell on earth decks that just beat you with manlands. I cannot name a more toxic archetype than that, and I've been playing a lot longer than you probably have. So that's still a thing, and it'll become a thing, so that's wonderful. Here's the 2 they missed. 1, legal till 2029, I checked, Bloodthirsty Conqueror, okay? Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So in other words, the next time you gain life, you win the game because there's a bunch of infinite combos with it, okay? It's the old Sanguine Bond and Sanguine Blood or whatever it was combo. Yeah, they knew about this. This is get to 5 in black-white and win. That's what this is. This is basically impossible to win. You kill him immediately or you lose the next turn. Idiotic. I hate it. Remember, in black-white, you can just remove everything that can stop you or that can beat you until you get this out and then you just win. This deck is basically unbeatable unless you counter him or kill him immediately. And Simulacrum Synthesizer. Just bring out an army of 12/12s. Artifact Affinity. Who would have thought that might be problematic except for every modern player from 2013 onward? This piece of shit needs to be removed from Standard immediately. And look at that set symbol, it ain't going away anytime soon. And well, rotation, that is the magic word, isn't it? So blah, 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 we don't like it, self-bounce, it's gone. So they really hit self-bounce hard, they really hit Red Rush hard, and they didn't do enough at all about mono black attrition and discard. People just run Lily. Now, here's the thing, okay? These are all in the context of rotation. And I don't give one single shit about rotation until after it happens. So they probably looked up, should we ban this? Well, no, it's going to rotate out in like literally a couple weeks. So why would we? You know, so if they're losing Liliana, for example, and they're losing Hopeless Nightmare, okay, now let's talk. Are they losing that bat? I have no idea. Probably not. Are they losing that enchantment? No, I think that thing was pretty recent. I have no idea. I didn't look. I don't want to know. I will rebuild my decks and pick up the pieces after the disaster already happens. I'm not going to sit there and plan ahead, clone my decks and all that because honestly, I'm not looking forward to rotation because one, it's going to kill a bunch of my decks, and two, at the same time, it ain't going to fix shit. It's just going to make me think up a bunch of more decks, build a bunch of decks, but I don't feel like building a deck in a format that I don't feel like building in. Maybe this went far enough. Maybe. I mean, they went far. Like, I will give them a pat on the back. They went far, but let's see what things look like in August. I'm not going to say too much about their decisions until I see it in August, when the next rotation happens, because they might have really fixed some stuff. If they can even slow down the format by about 1.5 to 2 turns so that people can actually get off the ground with landfall, cool. The problem is right now there is a mono white equipment deck that will just run your ass over with a ley line. So you need the ley line, but if you were to have it be 4 out of 60 and assume you're going to mulligan once, a 1 in 7 into a 1 in 7 discard, I think the odds of you starting it with your opening hand in that sequence is like 84%. Somewhere in that neighborhood, high 70s for sure. So let's check in on the other bans. Best of One Pioneer, MTG Arena, Tybalt's Trickery is banned. Just in Best of One Pioneer for the 6 people that play that. I wanted to read what they wrote just to see if they literally put one sentence, lol, we forgot to ban it when we banned it everywhere else. Because that thing has been banned so many times, I'm surprised it's legal in Pioneer at this point. Then they reminded me of something. Just, you're gonna punch your monitor, I'll just warn you right now. So Tybalt's Trickery has regularly caused problems in a deck that aims to mulligan aggressively, play the card on turn 2 to counter their own spell, then put something huge and nasty into play. Yes, even I played that one, it was hilarious. It's banned in Historic and is one of the 3 cards restricted in Timeless. It was banned in Explorer, but then we renamed the format to Pioneer and we matched the existing ban list. Since it's unbanning on MTG Arena in Pioneer, Tybalt's Trickery went right back to causing trouble. Well, shit, what did you think was going to happen? Who could have seen this coming? Who could have had the foresight to think that that card might do exactly what it did before the second you unbanned it? You absolute morons. That's like the firefighters show up to put out your house, and then you go, what do you think would happen if we lit it back on fire? And then when you do, the house is back on fire. Who could have foreseen? You morons, you absolute knuckle-dragging ape people thought that this was going to work. You thought unbanning this was a good idea, would be healthy for the format, and one single human being on the face of planet Earth would think, wow, this really added something to the gameplay. I'm having fun because of this card. You actually thought that. Holy shit. Y'all ask why I mostly cover them in a negative light? Because they do shit like this and they employ people like this. So due to these factors, we're banning Tybalt's Trickery. Ha 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 ha, until we unban it again. They specifically say that you'll just have to sideboard around it because there's quote-unquote answers for it in Best of 3, so good luck. So for the 2 people who play Best of 3 Pioneer on MTG Arena, you'll just have to remember that. Oh, Timeless they think is just fine after they banned Goblin Charbelcher, which I thought actually included that card, and the Psychic Frog Tempo decks. But, I don't know, probably not. I don't play it, who cares? Like, if I'm going to play Timeless, which is just Arena Eternal, I'm going to play Brawl, because, like, that's what you do. So they haven't pre-banned any spaceships from Brawl, I guess. They did. I didn't even know they did this. They added in over 100 new commanders with the release of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. I somehow missed that they did that until somebody in my channel live stream told me about that. I'm like, what? Like, okay, that's kind of cool though, because people want to play commanders. So get it as close to commander as you can, but with like maybe a more limited pool. And I think about 1/7 of all cards that have been printed, somewhere in that neighborhood, are on Arena. So while you might be missing some that you're like, man, I gotta have this, they really reprinted the popular ones and added it in there. It's just the cost. The cost is outrageous. You need, like, everything's a rare or mythic, and you need wild cards coming out your ass. You need it from sets where you could never possibly open them naturally, because most of these cards are from sets that don't exist because they're not sets. I don't know, man, but the more variety, let's go. You know, because then you can build more decks, which is what they want, because they'll make more money. I have more wild cards than you could ever possibly imagine, and I still don't play Brawl because of, one, the rigged matchmaker, and two, the fact that I don't want to go through 10,000 cards to build a deck, and three, it costs too damn much. I still don't have too many wild cards. I said I have a lot. I didn't say I have too many, where I just like, I need a sink to get rid of these in. No. What else? They said Corey Steelcutter is also suspended in Alchemy pending rebalance. Bitch, if you didn't find the fix for it yet by the time this article came out, you might as well stop looking, because that is not a useful use of your time and effort. And finally, in Historic, Counterspell is unbanned. Okay, I was going to say that. I read that wrong at the beginning. I was like, what's wrong with that card? What is Counterspell doing? A 2-cost version of Cancel in Historic where it absolutely has to be stopped. And it turns out the answer is absolutely nothing, so they unbanned it. I didn't even know it was banned. I didn't even know it was legal in the first place. I didn't even know it was on Arena. I didn't even know people would lose their minds when I took an FBB first edition of the Italian version of Contramagia, aka Counterspell, put it on a target, and then threw knives at it, and missed it on purpose as a joke, and then nailed it dead center right in the middle of the video. You guys got irrationally mad. It is a sub $10 card. I don't care how rare it is. Go buy it then if you're so married to it. I don't destroy cards just for fun. I find that to be absolute cringe. And that dumbass who like opened a pack with a hatchet because look at me, I'm so funny and extreme and contrarian. Woo. I don't even need to say the name. You know damn well who it was. He chopped like a $200 card in half. Who's like blowing it off like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. I'm too cool to care, guys. Look at me. Oh. Yeah, people like that can piss off, but like, if a card's literally not even worth selling on eBay, I'm going to do something stupid with it. By the way, might want to hit that subscribe button because we're going to find out if Magic the Gathering cards are fireproof. Oh, pardon me, I read that line wrong. Firework proof. Happy 4th of July, England. You can tax these nuts, and if still to this day you don't understand why it's important to own guns, they're the things we kicked you out of our country with. Who am I even talking to? There's no England anymore. It's the new first Islamic state in Europe. So, congratulations on that one. England has fallen. Can't wait to see what they rename it to. I like British Isles. They should go with that one. So thanks for watching. I'm going to be live streaming some standard play once this kicks in. I actually don't know when. I couldn't find in the article where they say this takes effect. Probably instantly or tomorrow. So, hey, that'll be wild. I'll tell you what. 0 of my decks were affected by this. 0. We going on a rampage today, boys. So don't forget to check out Into the AM, the sponsor of this amazing ban announcement. Support them, support the channel. I actually looked down once again, by sheer coincidence, I am wearing one of their shirts, and I'm not even on camera, okay? I just throw these on when I'm working from home, because they're comfortable, they look amazing, and my neighbors always wave at me when I'm wearing them and watering the garden. So if you want to water the garden in style, go check them out. Link in the description, 10% off with code DESTHREADS. I'll see you guys next time.